The Boy 2 is a sequel to a film that nobody asked for. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mr. Deathbreath. Before we begin, I would appreciate it greatly if every single one of you watching would please turn on post notifications. Please subscribe to this channel for more incredible content and keep it watching. So let's get into the good! The Boy Part 2, or Part Dukes. Okay, so, I'm gonna make no mistake about it. I'm gonna be very blunt and forthcoming. The Boy 1 was a terrible film. I absolutely hated it. If you get a chance to see it, it's not a good movie. I didn't like it, and there's like an ending, and you're like, oh, and I'm like, hey, and I'm like, nope. So when The Boy Part 2 came out, I was like, huh, alright. And based off the trailer, I was like, okay, I'm really enjoying where they're going here. It looks really interesting. It looks like they really go towards a supernatural direction. So, right off the bat, Christopher Convery does a fantastic job as the kid Jude. Not the doll, but the little boy. He does an incredible job. He has limited lines in the film, and he does a great job of conveying his emotions with facial features and subtle lip changes and just general body language. He does a fantastic job. Also, the actor who plays Joseph, his name is Ralph Ineson. He does a fantastic job. You'll notice him, he's walking around with a gun most of the time. He does an incredible job, just a fantastic performance, very unsettling. So absolute credit goes to both of them. Okay, so what I hoped this film would be, The Boy 2, is exactly what it is, and that's a great thing. So what it essentially is, it's a soft reboot, okay? So if you didn't see The Boy 1, don't worry about it. This will explain essentially what happened in The Boy 1 while also adding more to it. So what's fantastic is it's a soft reboot where they kind of ignore-ish the first film and move on with the second film with a new slate. But the thing what they tend to do is they tend to reference it and explain things in that explanation. So essentially acknowledging it as the past, but not making it the primary present, right? And also adding more to the mythology, which is really fantastic. Essentially, if you want to be more specific, it'd be like if they made Halloween 2 and acknowledged the fact that there was murders in Halloween 1. To the point that they ignore the first film, but they actually redeem the first film. They add explanation in the second film where they kind of go, yeah, so the reason why this happened was really because of that, not because of what you thought. And you're like, whoa, okay. Now I can watch the first film and enjoy it more because the second film added more and fixed the problems of the first. Really great screenwriting. Okay, so jump scares. They're plentiful, but they're well executed. It isn't just like, ah, you scared? No, there's more to it. There's a reason for things. And it does a good job of progressing the story and making the film better. The jump scares are actually fantastic. In addition, the overall creepiness. This film doesn't try to hide the fact that it's creepy, but it also isn't trying to scare you while it's being creepy. It isn't like something creepy is going to happen. Uh-oh, lightning, thunder, intense violence. It isn't like that. It's just suddenly, for instance, the Michael Myers face will just blink behind me and you'll be like, oh my gosh. And I'll look at it and it'll look like it looked at me and I'm like, wait, did I really see that? A lot of things like that where they'll have the creepiness go on, but they're not trying to force you into being afraid. They're more just trying to let you catch on to the subtleties and things that are happening, which is really a good way of doing it. Because, like I mentioned in the past with other films, they tend to kind of force an emotion, and this film doesn't do that. Okay, so, unfortunately, every film has a bad, and this one is no exception. So, let's get into the bad. Okay, so Owen Yeoman, he plays the character Sean, the father figure. He's basically there to cash in a paycheck. No disrespect to him in any way, but his performance in the film is serviceable. It serves the story, it does the job. But ultimately, it's nothing to write home about, and nothing really that is impressive. He does his job, okay? And then, of course, Katie Holmes, the beautiful Katie Holmes. Hi, beautiful. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. She plays Lisa. She plays the mother. She does, again, another serviceable job. These aren't necessarily horrible performances, but the fact that they didn't stand out, they didn't break that boundary between, you're in a movie to, whoa, that was impressive, just kind of makes it go under the bad, unfortunately. So no disrespect to either one of the actors, just the performances didn't wow me, didn't really move me, really were just kind of there to be part of the story. And sometimes that's how roles are, and that's what it was. Okay, in addition, one more thing I do want to add. The film did have a point where it hit a slow point. And it was enough to notice. Not enough to ruin the film or derail it, but enough to notice. You know, the bathroom break that went too long, if you will, right? Enough where I kind of went, oh, okay, that's a little too long. We could have maybe cut a little bit out, you know? So it slowed down the pace just a little bit, but by the time I noticed it is by the time it ended. So enough that you'll notice, you'll know what I'm talking about. It takes place during a conflict towards the endish, you know? And then one last thing, the ending's a little underwhelming. You know, when I'm thinking how I could have made the film better, that's when you know that there's a slight problem. For instance, there's the ending where things, you know, come to the conclusion and get resolved, and then there's a little bit after, and then the credits hit. And essentially what would have made the film better without getting into any detail is when you see that scene at the end, there's that scene that lingers, you'd be like, that would have been a good ending. But instead, they had to go a different direction, and it didn't work. Okay, guys, so as always, we like to bury things here. So let's bury it. On a scale of 1 to 10, what are we going to rate The Boy 2, Brahms? 10 out of 10. Absolutely incredible. It's the sequel to a film nobody asked for, yet it's fantastic. And they did a fantastic job across the board. I mean, they managed to completely redeem the first film by adding mythology and explaining things away, and kind of also ignoring the first film so you can watch the second film without having to see the first film. And they do such a good job at it. They reference it enough while making it still its own thing, and it's fantastic. I mean, honestly, you don't have to have a Boy 1. I mean, I guess it was trial and error, right? Very a la Evil Dead 1, 2, and Army of Darkness. I guess that's how it goes sometimes. Fantastic acting by Christopher Convery and Ralph Ineson. Incredible story, just a great direction. I can't wait to see the next one, guys. I highly recommend it. If you're thinking about seeing this movie, I recommend going to see this movie. If you've never seen The Boy, don't worry about it. Go see this movie. If you want to see a movie that has good jump scares, that are done well, that progress the story, go see this movie. This film is fantastic, and really, it's solid. It's a solid film. I mean, what else can you ask for a horror film but just a solid movie with a good story and just progresses and completely redeems everything it's done wrong. Guys, thank you for your support. I appreciate you guys. So my question to you, ladies and gentlemen, is what film would you like me to review next? Invisible Man is on the block, but I'd love to dip into other films. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know.